Hello and welcome. I'm Saeed from StoryPlanet.net. Dive right into the essence of the most captivating books without reading them cover to cover. Whether you're on the go, at the gym, or just relaxing at home, we offer you a unique and enriching listening experience. Today, we are exploring the book, Leaving Microsoft to Change the World, a creation by John Wood. In 2006, Leaving Microsoft to Change the World was published, recounting the journey of John Wood, a former high-ranking Microsoft employee. Wood made the bold decision to leave his successful career and establish Room to Read, a non-profit organization dedicated to addressing global illiteracy through children's education and promoting gender equality. Before we delve into these revelations, it's interesting to note that John Wood is an individual who is dedicated to philanthropy, entrepreneurship, and writing, having established Room to Read and Room to Grow. These non-profit organizations aim to eradicate childhood illiteracy. With 8 key ideas to unveil, brace yourself for a deep dive into this captivating book on StoryPlanet.net. To start, learn how transitioning from a corporate career to working for a non-profit can benefit you. John Wood, a former Microsoft executive, was inspired to change his career and dedicate his life to opening schools and libraries in poor and rural communities after a life-changing trip to Nepal. He founded the non-profit organization Room to Read, which aims to provide education and literacy to children around the world. The organization has grown and expanded, and Wood highlights the importance of education for women and the impact it has on communities. Key idea number 1. During a trip to Nepal, John Wood had a life-changing experience that made him recognize the importance of literacy and children's education. John Wood, a former top executive at Microsoft, had a life-altering experience during a vacation in Nepal where he witnessed the poor condition of schools and lack of resources, particularly books. This inspired him to start a project to improve education in Nepal, where the literacy rate was only 30%. He promised to send books to a local school and shared his plea for donations with his contacts. The response was overwhelming, and he was able to gather around 3,000 books to send back to Nepal. Key idea number 2. Wood made a life change to focus on improving children's education. Wood felt a deep satisfaction sending books to Nepal and decided to leave his job at Microsoft to fully devote himself to education. After a second trip to Nepal, he decided to start a non-profit to fund schools and libraries. Wood knew there were few resources for schools in Nepal and decided to pursue his new dream of ending illiteracy. He gave up his high-level job at Microsoft and moved to San Francisco to be closer to potential donors. This decision also led to the end of his relationship with his girlfriend. Key idea number 3. Non-profits require investment and donations to thrive, so Wood put effort into creating an effective pitch. The success of non-profits and charities is determined by their ability to secure funding. Wood, the author of the text, emphasizes the importance of never giving up on getting more investment. He suggests 5 principles for securing funding: connecting with donors, showing the positive effects of donations, highlighting low overhead costs, expressing personal passion, and demonstrating the meaningful impact of donations. By following these principles, non-profits can increase their chances of success. Key idea number 4. Vietnam was chosen for Room to Read's expansion due to 2 fortunate occurrences. Wood became interested in Vietnam after meeting a 17-year-old named Vu during a business trip. Vu's passion for computers and desire to connect with the world inspired Wood. Later, Wood received a call from Erin, who had a strong connection to Vietnam and offered to help expand Room to Read. Erin's efforts paid off, and she was eventually hired full-time. Key idea number 5. Wood learned important lessons during her time at Microsoft that have proven to be invaluable to Room to Read. Wood, the founder of Room to Read, learned 4 important lessons from his time at Microsoft that he applied to his new organization. These lessons were about getting tangible results, treating employees with respect, being data-driven, and valuing loyalty. Wood focused on measurable outcomes, encouraged employee input, emphasized the importance of data, and treated all team members equally. These lessons helped Room to Read increase illiteracy effectively and attract investors and donors. Key idea number 6. Before expanding Room to Read to new territories, Wood had to establish a strong and sustainable local network. Wood faced the challenge of expanding Room to Read into new parts of the world while maintaining its original purpose and character. He realized he needed to create a local network of donors and key players in each new location. Fundraisers helped bring in new people and introduce the organization to new donors. Local volunteers and employees, like Pasupati, played an essential role in delivering books, building schools, and gaining international support. Wood maintained his established contacts and ensured that the organization's first branches received appropriate funding and resources. He also monitored the original Nepalese schools to ensure they continued to receive support. Key idea number 7. Wood established Room to Grow, a scholarship program specifically aimed at addressing the issue of illiteracy among women. Wood has created a new program called Room to Grow, specifically for girls in order to address the issue of illiteracy among women. The program offers scholarships to underprivileged girls who cannot afford education. Anita, a 15-year-old from New Delhi, was able to continue her education through a scholarship from Room to Grow after her parents tried to marry her off. Education for women not only benefits them, but also the community as a whole, leading to improvements in maternal health, reduced infant mortality rates, prevention of sexually transmitted diseases, and increased employment opportunities that can decrease poverty and hunger. Key idea number 8. The 2005 tsunami tragedy taught Wood the importance of thinking big for entrepreneurs. Room to Read was planning to celebrate its 5th anniversary when a devastating tsunami hit Asia. Founder John Wood quickly shifted his focus to rebuilding schools and libraries in the affected areas. He secured an interview on CNN and used the opportunity to ask for support in rebuilding. The organization received tremendous support and donations to help achieve their goal. Wood learned the importance of thinking big and announcing goals, even without knowing how they would be achieved. In conclusion, John Wood, a former Microsoft employee, left his job to end global illiteracy. He founded Room to Read and Room to Grow, organizations dedicated to bringing education to the world. The book highlights the idea that one person can make a difference. Further reading is suggested on the story of Adam Brown and his charity, Pencils of Promise. Thank you for listening to this summary. If you enjoyed this exploration, we invite you to discover other fascinating books on storyplanet.net. Don't wait any longer. A multitude of books, stories, and knowledge await you there. See you soon on storyplanet.net.